Hey, what's going on, guys? Pete with Auto Repair Tip. Today we're doing an episode of flipping cars for cash. Every time I go to the auction, I always hop in cars and there's either a check engine light or an ABS light or something like that. So I've been trying to find a small scanner, something that'll fit in my pocket. I've got, of course, a snap-on bulky one, and I've got some other ones that are kind of big, but I wanted something I could just hop in from car to car, throw it on there real quick and see how it works. So I called this company called FIXD. They sent me a couple of them to look at. I'm gonna give one away later in this episode, so watch it to the end. And I'm gonna see how fast I can hook it to the car and read the computer, the ABS, and kind of see what's going on with it. See what kind of, it's supposed to give me a cost too, of like what it will cost to fix it. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty much an inflated cost a little bit, but we're gonna see. Like I said earlier, keep watching to the end. I'm gonna give the other one away. Alright guys, here's a great car to test the scanner out on. It definitely has some issues. This is a 2010 Chevy Cobalt. This thing won't even get out of its own way. The check engine light is on, and if you listen to the exhaust, you can definitely hear a misfire. So let's get started. I'm going to cut on the screen record on my phone so you can see what I'm seeing. Alright, after powering up the app, it says first tap to scan. And that's easy enough. Let's take a look at what it found wrong with the car. All these scanners work the same way. They run off of Bluetooth that connects to your phone. I really think it all boils down to who has the best app and which one can connect to your phone the easiest and is user friendly. Alright, after it was done scanning, it found 4 trouble codes: a P0171, a P0013, a P0011, and a P0010. If you look a little further, it says confirm fix found. Change the oil. This will fix your car and cost around $116 to $130. And if you look even further, it says it found other confirmed fixes: a mass airflow sensor and spark plugs. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, listening to the exhaust and feeling the misfire while I was driving it, an oil change is not going to fix this. And if you're one of those people who don't know a lot about cars, the first thing you're going to do is change the oil. Why? Because it's the cheapest and it's the first thing the app says to do. And after you do that and it doesn't fix your car, the next thing on the list is a mass airflow sensor that costs about $159 to $169. It's funny. The last thing is spark plugs, and it should have been one of the first things on the list. It says the cost of replacing plugs is about $199 to $240. Dude, I would be one pissed off person if I spent over $450 and my car still ran like shit. Alright, let's take a second and let's take a look under the hood and see what we can see. On a car like this, an easy way to isolate what cylinder is misfiring is to unplug each coil pack. If you do this, make sure you use caution. If you take a look and I unplug the one that has the misfire, there's no change in RPMs. But if I unplug the one that has the misfire, you can definitely see the difference. The RPMs drop. And if it's a 4-cylinder car, most of the time the car will cut off. I can definitely tell you this car has one of 3 problems: a bad coil pack, a bad injector, or no compression on that cylinder. These scanners are okay to use. They get you going in the general direction. Just make sure before you spend any money on repairs, make sure it's going to fix the problem so you're not throwing money out the window. Let's take a second and look at some of the good features this scanner has to offer. It connects easily to your phone and the car. It had no trouble pulling codes that were stored in your ECM, and it gives you the option to clear them. This is a good way to check to see if you have any hard codes. A lot of times, one code will cause a series of other codes, so when you reset the ECM, the first code that comes back is going to be your hard code. That's the one you normally start with when you're diagnosing. There's a feature that if you already don't have a mechanic shop, it'll find you one and schedule an appointment. There's a section in here that shows you what needs to be done every so many thousand miles. That's good to know. There's a page to set up a schedule for your oil changes. Keep track of your oil changes. There's one here for your battery. It also tells you your resting volts. There's another page here that has a place for you to track your tires and has a page for your wipers. There's a tab at the bottom that says Toolbox. If you press that tab, there's a section in there that does a emissions pre-check. It gives you a forecast of any issues, has live gauges, an indicator library that tells you what every light means on your car. Has a trip mode, I guess, so if you're taking a trip you can set some things up, and a fighter jet. Overall, this FIXD scanner, it's not a little bad scanner to have hooked to your car, considering all the features it has. Just one thing to remember when it comes to reading codes: just because it says you have a bad O2 sensor, and I'm using this as an example, doesn't mean you have a bad O2 sensor. There are a lot of other things that can give you an incorrect reading. One example would be a fuel injector not working correctly. So that's something to keep in mind when you have this fixed scanner hooked to your car or any other scanner that you use. All right, guys, let's get into the giveaway. All right, on the giveaway for the FIXD, you're gonna have to guess what year this wrecker is. Believe it or not, this wrecker only has 46,000 miles on it, but it has been out here a long time. Show you something pretty cool. Not sure how well you can see it, but if that chain right there drives this winch and it runs off the drive shaft, there's a lever in there, right down the side there. When you pull that lever in there and that winch starts spinning off that drive shaft, this thing is designed that you have to stop it, because if you don't, it continues to pull. If you were to hook it to something like a wall, it would either pull the wall down or break that boom first. All right, guys, and this is going to be the tiebreaker. Can anybody guess what this is? This is something that we're restoring. I've already done the windshield posts and the fenders and the frame and the chassis. This is what's left for us to restore. But can you guess what this is? Got to get the year and what it is. All right, guys, go ahead and get your answers in so we can see who wins this FIXD scanner. Thanks again for watching. Catch you later.